another Yoruba warlord like Igboho, who doubles as a seer and a traditional healer. Truly, there are warriors scattered ubiquitously all over Yoruba land. Though they're calm but not timid, polite but could be venomous if pushed to the wall or taken for granted. One of those many warriors scattered around Yoruba land is His Royal Highness Oba Augustine Bola Adegunoye, popularly known as Ebeji Ologun. He comes from Ondo town in Ondo State. Aside from practicing as a traditionalist, he is a known Ifa oraculum translator, a proud celestial, and also a known and respected seer that has many fulfilled prophecies to his credit. He's a retired police officer and a fingerprint specialist that once worked in the Department of Criminal Investigation Department and at Forensic Laboratory while he was active in service. He also owns a traditional healing home in the western part of Nigeria in Lagos, and the traditional healing home is known as St. Augustine. At his healing home, he attends to medical cases using a traditional means as cure. He is regarded as a warrior because of his stand for the Yoruba land, just like Sunday Igboho and the likes. Though age hasn't been on his side, but his advice, bold statement, and readiness to defend the land if peradventure anything happens and needs to be applauded. It can be recalled that Egbeji Ologun, before the election of 2015, predicted the success of President Muhammadu Buhari in the next election and the loss of ex-president Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He also predicted about the global crisis that was going to sweep through the nations last year, which he tagged the Reganok Day. Nevertheless, this is a respectable seer and traditionalist, and he has already proven through some of his interviews that he's a true pan-Yoruba activist and a strong traditionalist. Okay. I guess, it's sort of, showing that, the Yoruba people, they do have to, have a lot to actually be fighting with, I guess, if this is some kind of war. But again, I think at this point, the Yorubas just have to step up. I don't think they've ever been in a position where they actually had to defend their land and be as vocal and as aggressive. They're not necessarily that kind of people. But, kudos to this man and kudos to the Yorubas for whatever they're planning to do. But they need to do this ASAP because everyone's looking at them for them to actually defend their land and not be as nice, because of course their approach to democracy is and their approach to just hearing people out, they're very, very nice people. They're not very confrontational or fighting that kind of people. So yeah, they're gonna have to step up because everyone's looking at them too. And for too long, their government has, has always been on the side of Buhari, to be honest. Apparently, the Yorubas and the Hausas have been together to sort of have some sort of deal for their own benefit. To be honest, no one really cares. They just have to step up and show that no one can come into their land and do what they like. Because right now, they are very, very annoyed. The people are taking the laws into their hands. And would you blame them? Absolutely not. It is what it is. And yeah. A lot of people would probably think, he needs to come out and do what, Sunday Igboho is doing. I mean, Sunday Igboho, I don't think has ever worked in service, or he's a, actual, legalized sort of person that's fighting. To be honest, the Yoruba people just need all the help they can get from their own selves, because no one else is going to fight the fight for them, because, people have come into their space and have done so much atrocities. So it is what it is. I just hope in this fight we'll all realize that just realize what the next line of action is. Do we want to stay together, or is it likely that we will stay together, or do we want to fight this government? Because our common enemy right now is the government, and it's not the tribes, whatever. But again, that does not mean that they will not be able to defend their own tribes. Again, they have to still get that clear. They still have to defend themselves and defend their land, and the government or their government have disappointed them, so they have to take laws into their own hands, and this is the result of it. People are coming up, and to be honest, with the amount of let's say traditionalism, it's surprising how much it hasn't been tapped into, not tapped into, but when it comes to serious situations like this, not just, with the Yorubas or whatever, but as a whole in Nigeria, like, traditionalism has gone down a lot. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything, but again, when it comes to issues like this, you'd expect with the credit or with the respect or sort of subtle fearfulness that people have of traditional whatever, but yet the traditional, ways are just not being effective or being pushed as much. So yeah, would you say that the traditional the traditional, people are also getting bribed in some sort of way to be siding with the government? I don't know. But yeah, it just is what it is. And at this point, it's good that a Yoruba traditional healer and seer can, lead their people and predict, oh, what's the likelihood of success or failure for this fight and whatever. But still, the Yorubas need to know that, they have to fight for their land, and it might not be the best or constitutional way, but again, when the power has gone to the people because they can't trust their government, they will use whatever they can with their resources. And yeah, it just is what it is. But yeah, he really needs to make a name for him. I mean, he's not as popular as Sunday Igboho, but for him to be taken like really seriously across like the whole Nigeria, he would need to. I mean, this is probably a way, but he would need to um make his presence really known. He needs to do something. He needs to be active. I don't know. He needs to predict something big, and that thing actually happens. You know what I mean? So yeah, Sunday Igboho right now is taking the lead and taking the shine. But yeah, for the Yorubas to prove that, what, we are serious about this and no one can come to our land and literally just try to, bully us. Yeah, he's going to have to, be on the same wavelength in terms of popularity. He might be better than Sunday Igboho. But I think at this point, Sunday Igboho might be stronger because he comes from a line or a generation of, traditional men who've been doing these kind of things. So yeah, but still, he will need to be on the level of Sunday Igboho so that they could just come together and join forces and do what they need to do, because again, they really, if they don't show their strength, it's not a good look for them in terms of they can literally be a target. The same way, the government was negotiating with bandits over school children being kidnapped, and right now school children being kidnapped are now the main target because they've been emboldened because the government did not take the upper hand and actually do something effective, but then yeah, they cheapened themselves, and so the bandits can walk all over the government. Well, not walk over them, because there's so many theories about how the government and the bandits are siding with each other, but it is what it is. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.